Earth's mantle and crust tectonic battle, previously unknown source of magnetism. This is a new scientific finding. Articles June 2019 and November 9th, 2019. Very interesting work. The first one has to do with a translation I made from a Portuguese article in June 9th, 2019. Concerning this, in the depths of the Earth, scientists find previously unknown source of magnetism. Recent research revealed that Earth's crust, mantle, contributes to the creation of our planet's magnetic field, contrary to the idea that magnetism is generated only by the Earth's crust and nucleus. The general hypothesis suggests that this layer of the planet is magnetically dead due to enormous pressure and temperature that deprives iron oxides of their magnetic properties. But a study published in the journal Nature magazine and conducted by an international team of researchers was able to recreate the extreme conditions of the mantle and found that at least one of these minerals, hematite, maintains the ability to create magnetic fields at temperatures of approximately 925 degrees Celsius. Now this is important because it has to do also with the magnetosphere of the Earth. Because as we know, lately it's been really decreasing, and that's dangerous for all life on Earth. Now, so it's been found that some parts of the layer between the upper and lower mantle, called the transition zone, which extend from 410 to 660 kilometers below the Earth's surface, participate in the creation of the Earth's magnetosphere. These are relatively cold converging tectonic plates which lie mainly below the western Pacific, as we know. Now, this new knowledge about the Earth's mantle and the strongly magnetic region of the western Pacific could shed new light on any observation of the Earth's magnetic field. This is what the lead researcher, Dr. Ilya Kupenko, University of Munster, Germany, says. Although the magnetosphere plays a large role in the survival of life on Earth, protecting the Earth's surface from deadly cosmic rays, it remains a poorly studied subject. The exact causes of the magnetic pole movement, which has accelerated in recent decades, have not yet been established by science. If polarity reversal occurs, something that happened last 780,000 years ago when we had a pole reversal, this would seriously affect human civilization, the study warns. Obviously, we understand that. Now, the co-author, Leonid Dubrovsky of Bayreuth University, says, well, we now know that there are magnetically ordered materials in the planet's cloak, mantle, must be taken into account in any future analysis of the Earth's magnetic field and pole motion. Source is Sputnik News. This was June article. But then we have the latest one. The latest article concerning this is dated now, November 9th, yesterday. On Sputnik News, Earth's mantle and crust are in a deadly tectonic battle, the new research claims. A simplified model of Earth's interior shows a thin layer of crust seemingly surfing the hot, deformable layer of the mantle, while scientists have long known that the crust and mantle are inescapably linked, raising the question of which forces primarily drive the tectonic plates. Now, the recent article dated November 4th on Sputnik, Earth's mantle and crust are in a deadly tectonic battle, concerning the new research that's been found. A simplified model of Earth's interior shows a thin layer of crust, seemingly surfing the hot, deformable layer of the mantle, while scientists have long known that the crust and mantle are inescapably linked, raising the question of which forces primarily drive the tectonic plates. Planet Earth's hot center and its cold, hard outer shell, both responsible for the movement of tectonic plates in an intriguing balance of power. This is what the new research is showing. The oozing mantle creates supercontinents as the crust tears them apart. This is what the scientists claim. They published their findings in the article What Drives Tectonic Plates, October 30th this year in the journal Science Advances. To determine the process of plate tectonics, the scientists created a new computer model of Earth with the crust and mantle perceived as one seamless system. Now, why is this important to us? Because it's important because of two things. Because of volcanism, where does it come from? Is it only mantle plumes, so it doesn't have to do with the mantle and crust conveyor forces? And also, the second one is, this has to do with creating magnetism. And we know that the Earth's magnetosphere is decreasing recently, very, very fast. And they don't know why. Now, hopefully they'll find out. To determine the process of the plate tectonics, scientists created a new computer model of the Earth with the crust and mantle perceived as one seamless system. And over time, about 60% of tectonic movement at the surface of the virtual planet was driven by fairly shallow forces within the first 62 miles from the surface, that's 100 kilometers down. The deep convection of the mantle drove the remainder, with the mantle particularly important when the continents got pushed together to form supercontinents. Accordingly, shallow forces dominated when supercontinents broke apart in the model. What renders the study groundbreaking is that the virtual Earth, quote-unquote, is the first computer model that views the crust and mantle as an interconnected dynamic system. Previously, researchers made models of heat-driven convection in the mantle that adequately matched observations of the real mantle, but did not do justice to the crust. Models of plate tectonics in the crust could predict real-world observations of how the plates move, but did not fit in with observations of the mantle. Quote, convection models were good for the mantle, but not plates, and plate tectonics was good for plates, but not the mantle, end quote, said Nicolas Coltis, a professor of the École Normale Supérieure Graduate School, part of the PSL University in Paris. And he says, and the whole story behind the evolution of the system is the feedback between these two, end quote. A simple model of Earth's interior shows a thin layer of crust over the hot, deformable layer of the mantle, with the resulting impression being that the crust is moved by the currents from below. But in actual fact, scientists have long believed the crust and mantle to be part of the same system, thus bringing to the fore the question of whether forces at the surface or forces deep in the mantle were primarily driving the movement of the tectonic plates that make up the crust. Joanna Edison tweets, the debate over magma plumes and their effects, it has swung from all volcanism is caused by plumes to no volcanism is caused by plumes. Now, Coltis and his colleagues have now revealed that the two layers are so intertwined they both make a contribution. Over the past 2 weeks, Life Science quotes Coltis as saying, researchers have been working towards computer models that could represent the crust-mantle interactions realistically. In the early 2000s, some scientists developed models of heat-driven movement, convection that is, in the mantle, that were labor-intensive and did not get a lot of follow-up work. Coltis and his colleagues worked for 8 years on their new version of the models, with a simulation alone taking 9 months to run. The experts created a virtual Earth with realistic parameters ranging from heat flow to size of tectonic plates to length of time it takes for supercontinents to form and be driven asunder. The models has flaws, Coltis said. It does not keep track of previous rock deformation, so rocks that have deformed before are not prone to deform more easily in the future in their model, as might be the case in real life. Nonetheless, the model offers a realistic-looking virtual planet with subduction zones, continental drift, and oceanic ridges and trenches. Researchers also found that as the mantle forces dominate when continents come together, hot magma and mantle plumes are not the main reason causing continents to break apart. The drivers here are subduction zones. This is now where we're coming to the west coast subduction zone of the Pacific Plate under North America, and we've recently had, just if you see the video just before this one, the 4.5 and the 3.2 at Seattle, These are Juan de Fuca plate Cascadia quakes, and they expect a big one sometime there in the future, a megathrust quake. Now, okay, subduction zone there of the Pacific under the North American. So the drivers here, they say, are the subduction zones, where one chunk of crust is forced under another, with mantle plumes, that's of course Yellowstone and the other high-threat volcanoes we have in the area there, with mantle plumes adding their impact at a later date. This is what Coltis explains. Looking to the future, Coltis said that the model and the real world have to be bridged with observations, enabling the model's use in exploring everything from major volcanism events to how plate boundaries form to how the mantle moves around in relation to Earth's rotation. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.